Hello everyone, this is Timothy with Computer-Aided Instruction. In this video I want to talk about embedding media on an HTML page, and we're going to be using HTML5 media players. These are pretty easy to code, and basically they're supported by every browser that I can think of. And so we can use an audio player to play MP3s, which, would be music, maybe a podcast or sound effects or whatever you want. We can also play videos. I'm using an MP4 in this instance. Other video types are perfectly acceptable, but MP4 is the most common. And we're also going to talk about embedding a PDF. So this is just an article that I found from an online journal. And one thing I want you to notice is that I'm getting my media from Pixabay, and I like to give credit to the author and a link back to the place where I found it. So that's where this code is coming from. Now let's go ahead and round up some media that we can use for our web page. So the first thing I want to do is go to pixabay.com. I'm going to click videos. Obviously there are other places you can go to find free open source media, but Pixabay is just my place of choice. There are other places you can go like Pexels or Wikimedia Commons, places like that, but this is the video that I'm using in my sample right here. So I'm going to click the video. When you click free download, I don't need to preview the video already. When you click free download and then download a second time, I'm not going to download the video because I have it already. As you can see, I downloaded it a couple times. Now, after you click download, you have the option to copy this code that you can paste into your website to give credit to the author and the link back to the page where you found it. So let's go ahead and open up Notepad++. I'm going to add an opening paragraph tag and a closing one. And then I'll just paste this code in right here. We're going to grab an MP3 next, so let me have my paragraph tags ready to go. Let me click File, Save As. Let me go to my desktop, New Web, Media Projects. This is an empty folder that I created before I filmed this. Hypertext Markup Language. And I'll just call this index.html. And we're ready to go. So let's go back to the home page. Let's click music. Where's the MP3 that I downloaded earlier? Here, Penguin Music, Modern Chill. It doesn't give you the licensing information here, but if you click download, it says right here that crediting isn't required, but I think it's a good idea to do it anyways. If you guys were to make media and you decided you wanted to share it on Pixabay or some other file sharing platform, I'm sure you would want other people to give you credit and link to your website or to your portfolio or whatever you're using to share your media. So I think it's a good idea for us to do the same thing in turn. So that's all I wanted to grab from Pixabay. Let's go back into Notepad++. I'm going to click Control-V to paste. Now let me add some additional code. I'm going to type in style equals font-size, colon. Let's make it 9 point, semicolon, quotation marks. And I'm going to just copy and paste this whole thing over this old p tag down here. We'll save it. If we preview this right now, here's my folder with my index page. All we're going to see is the two links. So let's go ahead and add in our code for a music player and a video player. So of course we want to start off by adding in doc type, HTML, lang equals en for English, I'm going to skip the head tags. You guys know how to do that by now if you've been watching my videos. I'll have my closing body tag and my closing HTML tag. Yeah, I was able to get away with previewing the HTML page with just 2 paragraph tags, but you really want to have all of this other stuff just because some browsers might not work as properly as others, but for the most part your browser, modern browsers, are going to fill in whatever's missing. But it's still nevertheless conventional and a good idea to include all of this information at the top. Doc type HTML, HTML tag, opening body tag, closing HTML tag. And everything that you want to appear on the page of your website goes between the 2 body tags. So let's start. Let me just say something at the top. We got it. H1. You can have any kind of message that you want. I just don't want to have my video player pressed up at the very top of the page. I want to have some sort of a heading at the top. And I can code in a navigation bar if I want it, but I'm not. I don't want this video to be like 30 minutes long. I just want it to be as short as possible. And we are back. Now the first thing I want to do is go ahead and add my code for the MP3 player so we can play the audio that we downloaded earlier. So first thing I want to do is type in audio, a tag for audio control. Sorry about that. And then I want to have a closing audio tag. It doesn't have to be closing audio control, just closing audio. And in between these 2 tags, I want to add a message that's going to appear for people who have a really old browser that's not supporting HTML5, and therefore these tags won't work. So I'm going to add a message like, your browser does not support HTML5 media players. Maybe please update your browser for the best user experience or something. You can type in whatever message you want. This message is not going to display if the MP3 player does appear. Nevertheless, the next thing I want to do is type in source, create a new tag called source, type in src equals quotation marks, and now I need to get the name of the file. That was this one, Penguin Music Modern Chill Out. So I'm going to copy that name and just paste it in here. Add my extension .mp3. The last thing I need to type in is type equals quotation marks audio / mpeg. Now let me save this. Let me open up my browser again. Let me refresh. Something is missing. Source equals src. Missing this greater than sign at the end of my tag for source. Let me refresh. Something is still missing. Audio control source type. Closing audio. What am I missing? It should be audio controls with an S. One mistake is all it takes. Refresh. So audio controls with an S. Source equals name of your file, your extension. Type equals audio / mpeg. And then you have your closing audio tag. Now, you can't hear the system audio, but rest assured it works. I can hear it from my headphones. So what do we want to do next? We want to add our video player. So let's have a video tag, controls with an S. Just adding some blank space because I'm going to add some more text below. The first thing I want to add is preload equals, you have 3 options. You can type in, I'm going to use none, or you can use auto. I'm going to use none because I don't want the video to load as the page is loading, because most people probably are not going to watch the video. This doesn't have an autoplay or anything like that going, so I don't want to force everybody to have to wait for the video to load if they're just coming to my page to look at other stuff. The next thing I want to type in is poster equals quotation marks. I'm going to leave this blank. And then after that, I want to set my width equals, you can choose whatever you want, but I'm going to use 500 pixels. And then I'll have my greater than sign, which is going to cause problems like I did earlier. I'm going to copy this message about your browser not supporting the media players. And then I'll have my closing video tag. And once again, I'll have another tag for source. src equals the name of the file. It's right here, sold to 1985. Put .mp4 at the end. Then I need to have my type equals video / mp4. I'm not 100% sure why I wouldn't put audio / mp3 here, why I should put mpeg, but that's what I'm seeing a lot of different places use. So I'm going to use that code. Instead of mp3, I'll just put mpeg. It doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. Let's see, let's save this and preview it in our browser, see what happens. Now, let's play the video and it works. One thing I want you to notice when I refresh the page is that above the video player's controls, you have this like blank white space with the play button. This is where the poster code comes in. So what I could do is I could add an image, which would be a still image from the video, or whatever image you want to use. I could put an image of Mickey Mouse there if I wanted, but that wouldn't make much sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my print screen key, then I'm going to open up Paint. Here's Microsoft Paint. Hold on a second. I'm going to click Control V to paste the screen capture of my whole screen into Paint. I'm going to use this crop tool, the select tool I should say, to choose a portion of this image. I'm going to click Control X to crop it. I'm going to click Control Z a few times to make Paint go back to its default size. And then I'm going to click Control V to paste. I'm going to get rid of some of the white edges of the canvas. Now I'm going to just save this as... I actually saved a copy of this earlier when I was making my initial demo of this. I'm just going to save it as Seoul.png, which is city in Korea. I'll just save over it, doesn't really matter. Let me find it and copy it over into my folder with the rest of my files. Let me go back to Notepad++. This was Seoul.png. Let me save this. Let me refresh my browser. And as you can see, this is the still image that we just saved. So we don't have that blank white square above the video player's controls when we first load up the page. So let's go ahead and add our last piece of media, which was going to be a PDF. So the code for this is really simple. It's just going to be embed src equals, this src is the source, so I need to have the file's name, which is Introduction to Case Study. Whatever PDF you have on your computer will be sufficient. So just copy and paste the name here and put the extension of .pdf. Now, the type for this is going to be, equals application/PDF. Now I want to set a width and a height. So width will be, let's use 400 pixels, and the height can be 500 pixels. You can use whatever you want to use, but for our demo, this is what I'm using. Now let's go back to our browser, refresh, and there you have it. Now I hope this tutorial was useful for you. It's just an easy way to embed a MP3, embed an MP4, and embed a PDF, and have links back to Pixabay where we found it. You have other options if you want your video player to have more controls, like you know, be able to switch the resolution of the video, be able to play at different speeds, like a slow motion, be able to do other things besides just volume control, full speed, play and pause. There are different types of video players that you can use, like JW Player is one popular. You're just going to have to go online and do some research on different media players that you can use on your website, but there are a lot of free options out there, so you don't necessarily have to spend money. So hopefully this video was useful for you. Thank you for watching.